Hey folks, Deano here again. This time take a look at another bootleg Gunpla. This is the JMS Hyaku Shiki from Zeta Gundam. And yeah, I'll be honest, like, this is such a yin and yang kit for me. Like, the fact that JMS got this guy out for £8 when the official Bandai kit uses gold injection plastic for more than double that price is insanity to me. Like, yeah, where to start with this guy? Like, the kit, as you can see, is gold chrome plastic, like pretty much from head to toe. It looks as if they have either like painted that on in the factory, or they have somehow like plated the plastic on the sprue, which is insane to me. Like, Bandai have actually done a limited edition version of this kit, which I think goes for an absolute fortune, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, the gold plating looks really unique and amazing, but at the same time makes this guy an absolute nightmare to put together. Because yeah, while the gold plating looks stunning, I mean, you can see how much the light is bouncing off of this guy with the studio lights. But yeah, that not only makes it so that some parts are maybe a little bit too thick to actually fit where they're supposed to, like the crown of his head, and I think his butt flap, and even I think the top of the wings, they just wouldn't fit together. I had to glue them just to get this guy to fit together. Like, it's bonkers to me. I also had to, spoilers, drill out the hole for his beam sabers, and even at that, the top still cracked a little when I was putting them on. So yeah, this is not a kit for beginners. This is a kit to only undertake if you really, really love this design and how this sort of gold plating works as opposed to the official. Oh, and obviously when you're building it, the gold plating is slippery. So yeah, I punctured my finger with a very sharp blade trying to cut off the knobs with this guy, because that is a third issue with this guy. But yeah, we'll get into all that when we get to the actual kit itself. I am droning on like crazy. But yeah, let's take a look at the box. So yeah, gonna be honest, this is gonna be a really quick segment. This is one of the plainest boxes that I have ever seen for Gunpla. So yeah, you've got this sort of gold, almost orange look to the box. Can't read anything that's on the front of it. Also can't read anything in the booklet because it's all in Japanese and or Chinese. And just an outline of the Hyaku Shiki on the front. So yeah, pretty much absolutely nothing else on the box apart from the bottom here. It says Hyaku Shiki with box, so at least they actually remembered to send it. But yeah, just warning labels on the bottom, and that is literally your whack for the box. So yeah, let's take a look at the accessories. So, in terms of accessories, he doesn't come with a ton. Oh, give me 2 seconds. I almost forgot the pair that was on him. So yeah, he doesn't come with a whole lot, but what he comes with actually doesn't matter. So he comes with 2 beam sabers, which are very unique. The entire hilt is gold plated, and the saber blades are actually yellow, obviously because it's a gold kit. Ooh. Comes with 2 pairs of hands. I've got one of the standard high-grade gripping hands on his beam rifle, which does look really nice. I gave the cabling a sort of gunmetal paint job there, because I think it looked a bit plain. But yeah, even the hands have the gold plating on the back of them, so you get those, and you get the very rare closed fists with this guy, which is quite impressive. Like, for how unique this kit is, it is good that it comes with extra accessories. Fortunately, it doesn't come with a sort of posed hand or anything like that, but we'll take what we can get. And finally, he comes with, I'm not entirely sure what this is called. It's a bazooka of some kind, but it's kind of squared off, quite fancy looking. The handle, I have accidentally popped in there and can no longer seem to get it out. Yay. But the handle is in there. But yeah, just a sort of standard bazooka sort of thing. I actually think the front of it might work with the maybe beam saber blades. Does that work? Not really. You could force it in there, but yeah, that's unfortunate. But yeah, there's also a peg here so that you can pop this onto his back, which is handy. Always like storage. Unfortunately, for a reason, the beam rifle doesn't have that same storage capacity, despite the fact that there is the same square peg hole on both sides of his backpack, but hey-oh, I'm going to have it in his hand anyway. The beam sabers do store on his butt as well, which they are gold plated. I haven't tried it. It might just shatter upon me trying, but hey-oh, that's what reviews are for. So yeah, let's take a look at the kit now. So yeah, in terms of the kit itself, I apologise, like, in advance. Obviously, this being gold chrome plated almost the entire way, my camera is going to have trouble keeping it from like blinding you all. Like, white balance isn't even really working at all. So yeah. In terms of the details of this guy, I didn't do a whole lot to him, to be completely honest. Surprisingly, there is a lot of colour separation between the plastics. Those hoses or pipes on his forearm, there are more on his backpack and on the back of his knees. Yeah, those are all just the plastic. Like, it is separated plastic. The feet are the same colour, obviously, so those all came in the same sprue, but it's still really nice to know that, I mean, Bandai cared. Obviously, all JMS have done is copy the mold and made it look fancier, but yeah, Bandai actually did put some love and effort into this kit's design overall, so I do really love that. I didn't put a whole lot of stickers on him, as I said before, and some of which I did put on him actually came from the Zeta Gundam, just to give it that little bit extra. I started off putting like the real grade style stickers on him, but I soon realised the border around those stickers is terrible for gold chrome plastic. It loses all shine when you put them on him. Just completely. I thought I was being clever using like the kanji symbols from, I think it was the God Gundam's real grade stickers that were left over. Yeah, I thought I was being clever with that. Clearly I wasn't. But yeah, the Hyaku Shiki is quite well known for using kanji on it, so I didn't really put much detail stickers on him at all. So he's got the kanji on his shoulders. I put the Zeta Gundam Z on there because it's from the same show, and then just some detail on there. I do apologise for like any fingerprints that you can see. This gold chrome plastic is a fingerprint magnet. This is not a kit to be played with. This is one just to put in a pose and leave it on your shelf looking pretty. That's pretty much your whack. But yeah, overall, really nice details. I do really like them. JMS done an amazing job. Like, between JMS and XFS, I'm starting to think they are pretty much the same company. Because their quality rivals one another. And it pretty much honestly rivals Bandai's as well. So yeah, really, really nice. The camera just is not doing this justice at all. It's coming up really washed out, but I can assure you it's a really yellow gold that's on him. It's really nice. Even the chest is a sort of metallic-y blue sort of thing, which doubles over into the backpack as well, which is really nice. And yeah, just everywhere you can see internal details on this kit. I might honestly go in with the silver chrome paint later on, just to give some like extra details. But yeah, in terms of details, you can't really go wrong with this guy at all. Just bear in mind the absolute nightmare it was to put this guy together, because as I alluded to in the start of the review, the combination of factors to put this guy together made him an absolute nightmare. Being gold-plated chrome plastic, it is a very slippery when you're trying to cut it off the runner. That means some of the wee tiny parts, like the beam sabers, or say for example the handguards for the backs of the arms and such, those are so small they kept sliding out of my greasy man hands, and falling into the abyss in the floor. So yeah, very frustrating to put together. Plus the fact that obviously gold plating makes it a bit thicker, as I said before. I'm honestly stunned that the antenna in the head is staying in place. Like, I get the feeling one wrong move on that and that's going to pop out and vanish into the abyss, known as the carpet. But yeah, with some of the smaller parts, I would really advise gluing them on this guy, just for peace of mind. Like, honestly, some parts you pretty much will have to. Like, the top of the wings just would not sandwich together. I had to glue those just to keep them in place. But yeah, one other thing to note, panel liners do not work on this guy. Not that I would even consider using the port type panel liners to begin with. I have no idea what kind of plastic this is, or how that port type marker would react with the gold plating. Just don't do it. I did attempt to use the felt tip marker on like the waist guard sort of thing, and it just pulled in the corner. It would not stick to this plastic at all. I'm honestly kind of amazed the water slide decals are sticking to it as well as they are. I am afraid to touch them. They might just fall off any minute. But yeah, definitely a tricky kit to build. I will continue saying that. As really nice as it is, it's not one to undertake lightly. Even for the price. But yeah, articulation time. Let's say pop the wings off, just so that they don't get in the way. In terms of the head, surprisingly this kit came with two neck joints. One is plastic and one is polycap. That is one thing to say about this guy. He's very polycap heavy. Pretty much every part of him is a polycap, but he is solid. Like, these are really good polycaps that JMS have used. Just hope they hold up over time. But yeah, neck comes with two. You get the standard polycap one, and you get the plastic one, which the plastic one is a lot tighter, but I am obviously afraid to use it, especially on the lower neck, because that's a solid bit of plastic. I do not want it cracking. So yeah, I've just stuck with the polycap for now. So can look up, cannot really look down because it's got a really long chin. Swivel side to side, and some pivot. Arms can go out that far without using these shoulders. Can go up that far just in total. So shoulders are kind of limited, purely just due to the older design of this kit. Swivel there. You do get a butterfly joint. Polycap moves forward. So really nice. Bicep swivel is held in place with the polycap, so expect it to pop off over time. Double joint at the elbow. Gets about that range. That's mostly due to the design of the kit more than anything. Just make sure nothing starts popping off. Ball joint at the wrist. This wrist guard here, I'm considering gluing that as well because it's got a tendency to pop down like that. The only thing keeping it from like popping off completely is obviously the hand. So yeah, ball joint at the wrist. You do get a little hinge up in that shoulder as well. Bicep, not bicep, chest, ab section can go down that far before it's caught by these sort of teeth sort of things. Can go back not much at all. Swivel and a little bit of pivot, not a ton. You can probably pop it out a little bit to get some more because obviously polycaps, you can do what you like with them, just don't expect them to last. Hips can be cut in two, those hip skirts. It is a bit tight, obviously, because of the gold plating. Just make sure they stay in place. It's got the weird older style drop down hips where you can drop down one, but that will pull up the other one, so kind of a waste. Can do the full splits though, which is really good. Again, polycap will start to pop out on you, just something to keep in mind. Thigh rotation. Double joint at the knees. Doesn't get great range. I think that's between the gold plating and that sort of purple rope at the back. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing. You could probably force it more. There you go. Yeah, you can force it to get the full range. Just keep in mind what you are doing. Don't be like me and force your cheap bootleg Gunpla to do things they're not supposed to. Foot can go back that far. Can go forward that far. There is a hinge there. Go back and forth. And ankle pivot. Gets about that far. No toe movement to speak of, but it's not really something you really need. So yeah, overall, a decent little kit. But not for the faint of heart, obviously. Like, if you're just getting into Gunpla, or you prefer your builds to be fun, I would steer clear of this guy, honestly. There is a link in the description if you want to buy him. He is a good kit once he's built. It's just the building him. That's the issue. But yeah. Let's attempt to put one of the... Oh god, even that is still tight, even after drilling it out. So this bit here, if you ignore the smudge, is where they're meant to go. It does pop in. I don't know how much I would trust that though. The gold plating obviously makes the plastic very hard and very brittle. So yeah, but at least it works. Let's see the bazooka, to pop this on as well. As you can see, there is a square sort of peg on each side. So you just pick what side you want, and it just slides in nice and smooth. I would recommend, if you're doing anything with the backpack, take the wings off first. Otherwise it will be a nightmare. Obviously the wings as well, I forgot to mention in the articulation section, they are on a sort of double swivel ball joint sort of system. So they will have a bit of movement in them. And obviously they have a hinge which goes that far as well, which makes it look nice, but does make it slightly back heavy. So bear that in mind. But yeah, guys, that is the Hyaku Shiki fully kitted out on the backpack. So yeah, might as well put the rifle in his hand to complete the look. So yeah, overall, I would recommend it. He says as parts start falling off camera. Yeah, those wrist cuffs, definitely would recommend gluing those in place. There, the bazookas came off. Oh god, why does this keep happening? But yeah, overall, oh for God's sake, there's the wing came off as well. But yeah, despite its flaws, I do like this kit. Like I can't fault it. Like I can fault it. Like I don't know why I said that. I can fault it, but if you like the Hyaku Shiki, or you like just this sort of gaudy gold design, which is basically what the Hyaku Shiki was going for at the time, or you've just got a soft spot for the Hyaku Shiki itself, and you don't want that horrible looking Bandai version, I would still say go for it. Just be prepared for the fight of your life, getting him built. But yeah, guys, link is in the description if you want to purchase him. There we go. So we can see him in all his glory, even though my camera really hates this figure. But yeah, ultimately it's up to yourselves. There is a link in the description if you want to purchase. Just know what you're getting into when you buy it. So yeah, guys, that will do it for this review. Until next time, I'll see y'all later.